Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at Matty Ice 37 playing Greninja on the North American server, Ultra 3 player as well, and we just saw the head items, the ones that I recommend. We have Muscle Band, Scopelands, and Tech Weight, so that's the current build I would recommend as well. Eject button or full here are both fine, depending on what it is, but I also saw like one thing which is kind of scary. We have a double jungle right here. Of course you were first, but it's always kind of scary that when one of your allies picks jungle as well and they just have Central locked in the entire time and never change it. There might be a double jungle scenario coming up, and it might be better to just pick something that can go lane and jungle at the same time. So if you notice one of your is too stubborn, just like go to someone like Absol or something, which can jungle and lane at the same time. So if you don't get jungle in this scenario, then you can still go to lane and still be strong as well. Because, if your buff gets stolen or your leap up gets stolen by this guy, then having to go as lane as Greninja is not fun. It's just something I think people should be aware about. It's that scenario that, there's multiple people who want to jungle, and sometimes you're just gonna be the bigger man and probably give it to the other person. But yeah. Right now we have the game starting. We see we're on the sand desert side, already can tell, which means the leap hop will walk downwards. So we can walk this way, or we're Greninja, right? We should substitute over this. Actually, that's already the first miss. It doesn't really matter much, right? You can do this as well. But you can always substitute over the wall, but in the end, honestly, it doesn't really matter. The bubble gives you maybe better last hitting. In case there's a double jungle, and actually we see Squirtle going for the blue buff, red buff here. So you're going over. Okay, I think that's correct. Having to try and hopefully secure this. He didn't go for the lily pup as well, he just straight up goes for the red buff. But you're able to secure it, nice. I guess here the bubble comes in better as well, but we had both abilities now. In this scenario, you should be walking melee a bit more as well. You can start auto-taking it, but you should already kite towards here. You want to, you should decide which lane you want to gank, right? This or this. But you can already, kite towards here and then go for this corp fish and then walk up, deciding which lane you want to gank. I'm not sure. Let's see which lane you decide to gank. Because just buy a bit of time already if you just start walking towards the lane you want to gank. And your Squirtle took the corp fish, so probably gonna walk towards bot lane here. Try to secure something. So yeah, the double jungle did happen. We kind of got away with it still. We got double buffs, so it could be worse, right? And now we can be a bit aggressive on bot side. There was a very early substitute. I wouldn't do that. Just start auto-taking. Just walk towards it, start auto-taking. You kind of want to keep your substitute, because if the enemy jungler comes, right, you're already missing one, one movement ability. Or you could have got chased here. We just walk in, we should have just auto-tagged, can apply our red buff, then bubble. But yeah, totally fine. We can pick the corpfish now. You're going for it. Hopefully get level 5 from this, but I think it might not be enough level 5. Not quite, very, very close. But now we can just go for the bees. Your team is very aggressive, but there's not much you can do about it. You're not level 5, you're quite weak right now. Greninja's early game, obviously before level 7, is quite weak. Right now we should just focus on the big B. I think we're doing it, but we're a bit too close. Of course we have melee execute damage, but in case the enemy jungler still might be here, right? We don't see it on top lane. There's no jungler on top side. There's only 2. Could still be around, and there's the enemy jungler. Just a bit too deep, but we have smoke screen eject button up, so it's totally fine. Probably didn't have to eject button there. And now you should just go back to your jungle instantly and clear your buffs. Yeah, this is I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that people do that, are lower ranked junglers. Not to is staying in lanes too much, right? Every time you stay in lane, as a jungler, you have to be really efficient with your time. So the longer you stay in lane, the longer it will take, for your buffs to respawn. Right now, you're gonna kill the buff at 8-7 or something, and which means that it will spawn at 7-7 again. Or you kill it at 8-9, which means it spawns at 7-9, and that's so close to the Dreadnought spawning that you can't get another jungle rotation in, right? And which means you probably won't be level 9 for the first Dreadnought fight. Of course, you already got handicapped by your Squirtle taking jungle buffs away, right? But in this scenario, you should just be instantly recalling after there's always there to defend the goal. You don't have to necessarily defend the goal. It's not your job to do it. Your job is to be level 9 at Dread and win the game for your team on first Dreadnought fight, right? So, a bit more efficient pathing would be important. Also in this scenario, this is actually something you can do. Walk towards here and then pan your camera towards there. There's something I also noticed, you're not panning your camera yet. I know it's difficult and it's very hard to get used to, especially mobile as well, but panning your camera is important, because you could just go to this wall, pan over and see if this corpfish is up, right? You're not sure if this is even up, that could be taken if there was no vision on it. So then you can take the jump pad, jump over and take this corpfish as well. And if the corpfish is down, you can just straight up go for a gank, right? You don't waste time. Right now, you could have been ganking this already. We see 2 enemies very deep. We see 2 enemies very deep here as well. So in case the corpfish is down, you would have walked here and wasted time already. So yeah, just go over the wall and use the camera a lot. You have to move your camera. It is so important to, here we do it exactly. They use this a lot. You should be doing this pretty much the entire game. I know it's more difficult on mobile than on controller, but even on controller you should be doing it all the time. It's one of the biggest tips I have. We have B spawning in 5 seconds, we don't level 7 yet, so we don't want to be too aggressive. We see the enemy jungle top side though, which means we can be a bit aggressive, but you stay very, very weak, and even to a Wigglytuff and Warthog, you could actually maybe die if you're not careful. You can see you take a lot of damage. Now we get the surf, and now we can just have to stay in lane, hopefully get a kill on this Wigglytuff. It's so close, but we do get it. Nice, was a bit close. If the Warthog is there though, you might have all died. Right now we down, we should just start Dread here. Like the Wigglytuff is dead, the enemy jungler's top lane, we should just be doing Dread right now. Should instantly start it. And hopefully your team is there, but yeah, it's quite difficult. And the enemy jungler's actually there. The enemy jungler's actually arrived, you can see Sinday's attacking there. Can go for this kill here. I think you could actually win for this kill. He was under half HP, which means your surf does bonus damage, but it's quite difficult. And here, this is another scenario. You have to pam your camera, right? Like, I have no idea what's happening here right now in this area. I have no idea what's going on, and that's not good. Like, you need to understand what is happening, how low is the Cinder Ace, because you would see the Cinder Ace is level 6, which means he would have absolutely no chance. Like, if you just go for the Cinder Ace, he would have no chance, but now we go for the Dread Flip, which is fine as well. It's gotta be confident that we get the last hit with the surf. I mean, the Cinder Ace doesn't have Pyro Ball anything, so we do get a nice kill. Nice eject button, surf. And now we should just Unite Move this. Yes, we should Unite Move this, look for more kills, and then maybe for a score as well. So we have 30, you have attack rate, right? So you really want to score. This is totally fine. Right here, I would stay in, like, right now, you probably should stay further away from the Wigglytuff. Like, after this kill, just kite towards down here, or kite back to your team, but try not to be melee range of the Wigglytuff right now. It also means we could maybe get another surf much faster, but okay, we get out. And yeah, now we should just recall and do our buffs again. Like, now we cannot waste. I mean, we didn't miss an opportunity, was still fine, was a good Unite move there. Sadly, we only got 1 kill. If your team follows up a bit more, probably could have gotten it. But yeah, we kind of want to look still for some attack rate stacks now. We should for sure surf this. Like, you can always go here as well and surf over this wall. Like, you can hit this thing, surf over wall, and go for the next things. Probably should be doing that. Just for faster clear, right? I mean, you don't want to waste too much time at all. We see Greninja pushing top. We can maybe look for a gank here and then for a push into their goal for attack bait stacks. That's what I would do right now. Like, I would be ganking this, or I would be ganking this. Like this, you might get a kill here, but this was like kind of random, you know? There's like 2 things we can do right now. We see vision here, and we have people pushing this goal. So I would either decide to gank here or gank here right now. Instead, we kind of walk into the middle for, like, these corp fishes are super useless right now. Of course, you get a lucky kill, but this was very random. Like, this was not something guaranteed. You always want to have guaranteed things when you play MOBAs and just go for them, but it's a nice kill you get here. Now we can look towards spot lane. I think capping here is actually fine. I think getting those 40 coins, okay, you saw the Warthog. I think that was a fine try. Go for this guy now. Get the smoke screen boosted auto attack, get a surf reset, get another surf reset on the bees. That's very nicely done. I mean, I think it's fine if you're patient, but we obviously, I think you haven't said you haven't played. You obviously want to be a bit faster, right? Like, this is taking a bit too long for the surf resets to come through. But obviously that does take a lot of time. And I think if you're not confident in ability, you can be a bit patient. So I think that's totally fine as well, that you be a bit patient there. Should take this away. And yeah. But that was a very interesting eject button. Not in danger at all, but that's fine. We should take these 2 Audinos right now, the bottom. Take those 2 Audinos. You want to have your Unite move back as well. And again, we should surf this. Like, we should just surf in this direction, then we can auto-take this and surf back, right? Like, we should be using our surfs for last-hitting PvE, but just, you know, get you a lot of time. Right now, this is kind of scary, but you get a nice reset. Okay, nicely played still. Was a bit scary, though, I would say. But, yeah, Greninja does so much damage. Looking for the cap now. Nicely done, but Sinace is here. We just abandon this, like, we don't fight him. I don't think this is worth it. I mean, maybe it is, but you actually die, yeah. If you're like a level 12, okay, so I think Unite moving there is fine in theory for getting maybe a 50 score in. Like, you could have a fully stacked attack rate here, but 2 objectives are spawning in 20 seconds, right? And if you die to an underleveled Pokemon, if he uses Unite move as well, there's a chance you can lose it. And you killing this Pokemon, yes, you could have maybe gotten a score in. I think it could be fine overplay, but you didn't even have Surf Up, right? Yeah, you had no Surf Up. Could have maybe kited a bit more. But yeah, quite unfortunate. So this is like a huge throw. This is like when enemy teams come back into games. Now Sinace is going to get a 40 score instead. I think it was a fine try. Unlucky that Sinace outside Unite move up. But yeah, we didn't have Surf, so we couldn't get the kill just in time. And now Sinead's got a lot of comeback experience, and now we also lose Dreadnought most likely. We can't fight for it anymore. At this point, we just farm everything. We just try to farm as many things as we can. Just farm. I wouldn't even, like, I would just go for boss right here. Like, Zeraora should be able to defend this on his own. We have so much farm up, and chasing, like, a level 10 Wigglytuff is just not really worth it too much. Like, again, we just go for plays, and we die again. Like, we go for plays that are not guaranteed, right? Like, right now, we see we have this up, we have this, and this. That's, like, almost 1 or 2 entire levels of experience. And, we don't have Unite Move up, which means if we go into a fight and someone just Unite Moves us, we also just lose, right? And we don't want to risk dying again. We are still the highest level Pokemon in the game. Or where? I'm not sure if we are still now. So, yeah, we don't want to take fights that just are unnecessary. I know it's difficult and hard to understand, like, what is a useful and a difficult fight, or what is a useless and a useful fight. But in the end, if your entire side of the map is up, that's a guaranteed farm, right? We want to go for the guaranteed farm. Your Zeraora was defending the bot goal anyways. Probably didn't need your help. Now we should look towards top side again. You should pan your camera more often. You should be under, like, right now we should be camming towards here. We should be moving our camera up to understand what's happening here, because maybe we can still help something out. Also, the Audinas are all up. This is not really your problem under your fault. You probably should have looked towards this anyways, but now we're here to still defend the Wigglytuff. Going to melee here. Gotta wait out the Sing a bit. And just auto-take, nicely done. That's honestly on your Espeon, kind of. I mean, he's also looking for a score. If you get this kill, you can actually maybe finally get some attack rate stacks. Nice. Okay. Worked out quite well in the end. Get our first stack. So finally something. Obviously not too much though, but still, it's something. Right now, again, like, overextending here makes no sense. Like, we should already be here. This is already respawning again. We have B spawning behind us. And these plays can lose your games. If you die on the enemy side as a level 14 character 30 seconds before Zapdos, you give them so much experience. Yes, you end up getting a kill, and yes, it might be fine. You're like, oh my, I'm getting a kill, Dreadnought spawning. But in the end, it's just very risky. It's just very, very risky. You're the highest level in the game. You still have a very long death time as well. And doing this strat is also a mistake. Like, I would not do this strat at all. I would farm all of this, and you would be 1% level 15. Again, we're just going for a fight. We have one ally here, we have one ally here, one ally here. And if one of the enemies just decides to Unite Move here, right, which is quite bad, but if they decide to Unite Move you, in this scenario, you might just lose the game. They can go for Zapdos, you're dead for like 25 seconds, and you might just lose the game if the enemies decide to Unite Move. And if you Unite Move them back, well, then you have a hard time winning the Zapdos fight yourself, right? Because they have very low respawn timers, which means that your Unite Move is not really going to be worth it. So, right now this was very, very risky, and I'm not a big fan. We do end up getting the enemy Greninja Unite. Right now, we also don't base here. We don't base. We just do this fast and get level 15. We could do the bees fast, get level 15. You're almost full HP. You really don't have to base here. At all. So we would be level 15 or 14. And level 15 against 14 is a huge difference. Right now, so the late game fights are quite difficult with Greninja still. You kind of need your teammates to engage and then follow something up. Let's see how we play this. You can either be in... I like being in this or this brush as well and just scouting vision out. I think this brush is kind of like... Not the biggest fan. I prefer the, you know, the L brushes on Pokemon like Greninja. But yeah. Right now we should be auto-taking this. If this Wigglytuff just walks up, we just start auto-taking in range form. So we kind of waste our smoke screen, and this is way too early of an engage, I feel like. Zapdos is still full HP. Your team is nowhere to be found, which is quite an issue. But yeah. We do get a nice double. This was a very nice double kill though. Like, you played this double kill nice. You get a nice surf reset here. You get another surf, you heal up as well, and you get one more kill with the eject button blink away as well. But it's just way too early. Like, do you see where your team is, right? Like, Zapdos is just being auto-tagged right now. You could just auto-tag Wigglytuff and then slowly kite it backwards and then maybe look for something. But we already lose our smoke screen. We instantly Unite Move, and your teammates are here, here, and here right now, right? Like, they're not even close to follow you up. And if you die in this fight, there's a high chance you're gonna lose the game. Because again, you're going to be dead for a long time. And then if you're dead, you can't decide Zapdos, right? Like, if you're dead, the Zapdos flip might go for the enemies. And now we die to the Water Spout, Blastoise. We probably could just reset here as well. Like, in this scenario, you could just walk towards up here and just recoil fast. That's what I would have done. Or start auto-taking, right? You could have still started maybe auto-taking something. But yeah, it's quite difficult. 3 of the enemies are dead though, so now it's up to your team. But it's up to your team to get the Zapdos. And Wigglytuff is still alive. They're 4 dead now. It's only Blastoise left, but the Blastoise is very strong right now, as we know, with the Water Spout. We do have 15 kills, but like if you play the last team fight too aggressively, you just lose this Greninja. That's like probably the most Greninja losses come from, is just playing the early game or late game too aggressive. And now your Espeon is backdooring, which is very bad as well. And then he's get Zapdos. So I think you just pulled the trigger way too early, right? You kind of have to wait for your team. Of course, if Zapdos is already at half HP, you kind of have to do something, right? But if your entire team is not there, then I guess you have to go for just hoping getting a last hit on Zapdos, right? I think it was a fine try by you, but yeah, we end up losing the game. Hope you learned something out of this. I think the biggest takeaway is just go for more unnecessary fights, and also move your camera more often. Like, it's very important to move your camera to understand what's happening. Very, very important. I don't know if we can sit try for something now, but I mean, the game is pretty much over. There's probably no chance. You do actually get a score off, though. If someone get 100 off, okay, I mean, they're 3 dead. But yeah, if Blastoise maybe gets this off, there's a chance, but... Oh my god, it was actually so close in the end. Wow. If you get these 2 scores off, you might have actually won, right? I mean, it's kind of the enemy team kind of trolling a bit. Yeah, not quite yet, but yeah, would have been... Actually, could have won, yeah. Alright, hope this was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I will do these like maybe every 3 days. I will post one of these. So keep sending stuff into my email. Watch the other video where I explain how you do it. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.